Welcome back to another ReelFlyRod gear review. My name's Seth, I'm the showroom manager here. Today we're going to be taking a deeper look at the Redington Butter Stick. In front of me here we have the second generation Butter Stick and the new third generation. I'm going to be completely honest in saying, coming into this third generation, I really didn't want to like this rod. I own the second generation here. I love the blank on these things, and everything about it, I just love this rod so much. So coming to the new one, I was a little hesitant at first, but after fishing it, after casting it, after landing fish on it, this thing is the real deal. It is an absolute outstanding rod, and I love every bit of it. So looking at the major differences here, first thing you're going to notice is moving from the original three-piece, that classic fiberglass three-piece, moving into a four-piece. So with that, you're getting extra rod connections, definitely, but the biggest difference is you're going to see a stiffer rod within this fiberglass. And fiberglass in general tends to be a little bit heavier than your kind of standard graphites, but funny enough, this rod is super light. It packs down a lot smaller, which is huge, especially for like traveling and everything else. Really good mountain rods. What else is there? So the other major differences that you're really going to notice right off the bat is the reel seats. So coming from the second generation, you're looking at a friction fit, so just pressure fit guide, sliding them down together, holds the reel on there, but it's not as secure as some people would want. So moving into the new third generation, you're going to notice that it is going to have a down locking, more so traditional reel seat. With this, you're just getting a more secure reel, better connection from rod to reel. It's just all around a better construction. Other major differences, the actual blank color is different as well. So moving over from the second generation, you're now getting the sunshine yellow glass color. It is a little bit brighter, a little more flashy compared to the previous model, but it is an absolute beautiful rod. Both coming with your chrome snake guides, really traditional, keeping it to the books. It's just super fun to fish. When we were out, and they'll insert a clip here of me landing a fish up here from our trip up to Michigan, and I mean, I picked this thing up and I didn't put it down for probably 2 days straight. It was so much fun. So another major change from the previous version, you're looking at limited sizes in these rods now. So previously this rod came in a size range from a 1 weight all the way up to an 8 weight. So they gave you a bunch of different options for this. Now they kind of refined it down. They're moving just to 3 weights. So this new rod comes in a 370, a 476, and a 580. Keeping it short, keeping it simple. With this previous model, there was just so many options and so many ways you could fish it. They're really just trying to limit it and kind of break that down a little bit, because you can use this rod for multiple different species, water types. It's great for traveling, mountain rods. Now, when we were casting it and fishing it, we had it paired with the Redington Zero reel. Counterbalance was great. Not too much need for a big drag system on it. This just being a click and pull reel, it fits perfect. It counterbalances amazingly, and you can kind of fight the fish and be your own drag, which is really nice. The line on this is the Scientific Anglers Creek Trout. Pretty head-heavy taper, but really good on these glass rods. It loads them super well. You can index exactly where it's at, and it really was kind of that perfect setup for light dry fly fishing, really small clousers, small woolies, but super fun for trout fishing. It'd be an absolutely fantastic panfish rod. Small bass, I know a lot of guys will pick these up in 5 weights and they'll go smallmouthing. The crazy thing with this rod that I noticed coming from the Butter Stick 2 to the Butter Stick 3 was the Butter Stick 3 had a lot more control while fighting fish. So while having this out on the water, just being able to turn that fish's head and really feel like I'm in control of that fight, as opposed to the original or the second generation, the fish had a little more upper hand depending on size. So with smaller species, it didn't have any issue, but once you got up into some bigger trout species, it has its own limits. And that's kind of where the whole variation in size ranges comes in with the second. But moving to this third one, it is super fun to fish. And as you can tell, even just this handle being a little dirty, we put it through its paces, and we really tried these things out. I will say the handle on the new one is a little bit better tapered. It's a little more comfortable in the hand. The swell fits in the hand, in that pocket of your hand super nicely. And they are just absolutely outstanding rods. Highly recommend checking them out. If you know someone that has one, I recommend asking to borrow it, catch some fish on it. Chances are you'll probably want your own right after, and it's just, I can't say anything really bad about these rods because they're an absolute blast to fish. Other than that, nothing much new has changed with these. It's just that little bit of splash of color, a little pop, really fun fights. Thanks for joining us here at ReelFlyRod for another gear review. We love making these. Make sure to subscribe. We're putting out new content weekly. Leave a comment down there for different rods, reels you'd like to see, and thanks for joining us and all the support. We love you guys.